Hi guys, welcome back to Barre. This is our final workout of our September series, and today we are down on the mat for this do anywhere, zero equipment mat bar workout. This one's going to take about 15 minutes total. You don't need any equipment except for your mat, so go ahead, roll it out, and let's do it. Hi guys, so this is the final workout of the Back to Barre series. Oh my God, so exciting, it's gone by fast. If you've missed any of the rest of the workouts, be sure to have a look back. All of September, we've just done twice weekly bar workouts, so lots of different themes. There's been beginner, classic workouts, cardio, and now we're finishing things out with this week, and these are our do anywhere bar workouts. So on Monday, we have the standing portion, and then today, of course, is the mat. So they're designed so you can do them together. They really complement each other nicely, or you can also do them separately. But these do anywhere ones are perfect for if you are traveling, you just have a little bit of space and no equipment, you don't have a lot of time, but you still want to get a good workout in. So if you are new around here, I would love to have you back. Lots of bar and good times around here. So please do hit that subscribe button down below. And of course, go give me a follow on Instagram at F2D Fitness. But we're gonna get started on this one. So starting with a bit of a warm up, we're doing mostly, I'd say it's gonna be a little bit more ab and arm intensive, this one. So yeah, it really does complement it. So first thing here, you're gonna come into a hands and knees position here. We're gonna tuck toes under because we're gonna do one normal cat-cow, like that. And then you're gonna hover the knees and do one crazy floating cat-cow. And we're just gonna alternate one and one. In 3, 2, 1. If you've never done those floating cat-cows, oh, just you wait. So one normal with knees on floor, come back to neutral, hover the knees, inhale, hollow, exhale, round knees just hovering off the floor. All right, knees come back down, hollow, round, knees lift, hollow, round. At least it's just one and one, and we're not doing the whole thing floating, because that is quite a doozy. Ooh, that takes some concentration. All right, we got time for one more hovering one. Hollow, round, and then go ahead, step back into a plank. From that plank, we're just gonna round, push the tips of the toes, round shoulders, wave our way back to a downward dog. Same thing coming forward. So you're just really rounding the spine, a little bit more range of motion in the spine than just going flat to flat. A little bit extra core work because we're gonna squeeze the navel in super, super, super tight. You're kind of creating like a pocket, pulling your navel into it. That's sort of the mission with that rolling, waving motion. But still, nice, beautiful plank, pausing there, shoulders over wrist, and nice, beautiful downward dog with heels sinking down into the mat. One more here. Oof, that is nice and juicy for the abs. And then we're gonna flip around, come onto the back here, knees bent in front of you. So we're gonna do one bridge lift. So hands by the side, we lift the butt comes down, one roll up. Woo! Slow release down. So you might need to adjust the feet, bring them a little bit farther forward to allow you to get up in that roll up without the feet lifting up. Come down nice and resisted. So you never want to just flop back down out of a roll up. The release is the more important part. So if you struggle to do the up, where you're going to kind of train yourself to be able to do that up is actually in the release. It's in the opposite part. Let's just do one more of each. I know it's gonna go over time a little bit, but that's okay. There we go, last one there. Okay, that's our warm up. We're gonna start with our ab portion. So go ahead, come all the way back down here. Head, neck, and shoulders can be just resting here, or you could also keep them elevated. I think I will, just because of my hair. Feet are gonna be in a V shape, so heels here, toes turn out, knees open wide, lower back stays down. And we're just gonna extend, drawing back the legs here, pushing navel down, tuck back in. In 3, 2, 1. So we're still working that turnout, squeeze, slow retract, back in. Exhale, squeeze, make sure the toes are apart, heels together. We're not doing it in parallel, we're doing it with a turnout. So knees should come nice and wide as you draw back in. Lower back never leaves the floor. If you need to help out with that, hands can just come underneath the tailbone. So you're going to create like a little hole for the lower back to drop into. That can help. Lots of lower abs here though. So keep them slow and controlled. Do not rush abs. You'll get so much more ab work the slower you go with them. I get upset when I see people rush abs because I'm like, you're not actually gonna be working the abs, it's just gonna be hips and back. Which I'll do it, but it's not what we want. All right, one more here. We're gonna keep both legs long, and then we're just gonna alternate. From that diagonal, you're gonna draw right knee in, knee comes wide, extend back out to the turnout. Same thing on the left. So knee draws wide. We can kind of just like draw the toes up the extended leg to about the level of the knee. And then meet in the extension. So not moving simultaneously. It's like a little relay race. They have to, boom, tap in. So they've both got to extend long for a second or two so that the other side can tap in. Again, keep it this pace. Do not go faster than I'm going right now. So if you're like looking, you're like, I'm so much faster. Nope. Slow it down. Try it at my speed. See how it feels here. Let's do one more on either side. Keep squeezing navel down. Super, super tight. And then we're gonna bring legs all the way up, and you're just gonna open to a little V here, cross and center. Open to a V, cross and center. Just make sure you're switching the direction of the cross each time, so opposite leg will cross in front. Squeeze from the inner thighs. Keep hollowing out the navel, pushing lower back down. So make inner thighs do this work. Don't let the hips do it. So inner thighs, abs are playing together on this one. And kind of your triangle of stability is lower abs, inner thighs, glutes. So those parts tend to play very well together. So just keep that in mind as you're doing lots of different exercises. See how often they pair together. Few more here. Still pointing the toes, reaching through those legs as long as you can. All right, last one there. Bring the knees in. There we go. That's our little kind of ab-centric portion done. You're gonna roll onto one side here. We are clamshelling today. Not too long, but that means that we've got to make it effective. So you're gonna start actually open in your like open clamshell position, toes together, knees apart. Bottom knee is down. We're going to lift feet. We're gonna lift feet, extend, touch back in, feet drop down. That's it. Bottom knee always stays in contact with the floor. We got 1 minute of these in 3, 2, 1. So feet lift, extend, together, lower down. Make sure that as you extend the leg, you're not rolling back onto the bottom glute. So if anything, push the top hip forward a little bit to create a little bit more resistance. And don't let the knees come together. The knees are not friends here. They're just not. So a little bit more stabilization work. Gets a little bit more into the obliques as well with those feet lifted. Fun after the standing portion of this week. It's just stabilization with a side of more stabilization. These are actually, I think, some of my favorite types of workouts. You can let me know if you agree. Really good work to do. All right, one more here. We're gonna lift. We're gonna keep the feet lifted now, and we're just doing that extension here for a minute. So keep the bottom foot lifted, toes pointed. And like I say, I'm gonna show you one to show you what I don't want. Rolling back here. See how I'm just rested on that bottom glute and the hip is open? Stay on the bottom hip bone. No part of your bottom butt cheek should be touching floor right now. You're on the hip bone. We're pushing top hip forward to maintain that sack. Navel is spine. And then within that, we're going as big as we can in the extension. But there's going to be a lot of resistance there. But that's how we're going to keep these turnouts clean and not just like using the hips, relying on the hips to turn out. We want to rely on the muscles, not the joints. Ooh. Luckily, it's just these two things on each side. So not too bad here. All right, one more here. Finish it. Boom, boom. Close it up. Lower it down. We'll flip over to the second side. And just those two things again. Excellent. So, feet together. Knees apart, bottom knee stays in contact with the floor. We lift feet, extend in 3, 2, 1. So feet, extend, together, close. And it might not be equal on both sides is the thing, because probably naturally you're gonna have a little bit more turnout on one side. So for me, that first side, my right leg extending, that is where I have a bigger turnout. Left, it's not the same. It's not the same level of turnout. So that's okay. Just do as much as you can, but do not roll back onto the butt to try to get the same angle. Just do the best that you can. Ooh-wee. That little up and down, oh, that does add something. Still keeping it at my pace here, so nice and slow. You guys know if you've done my workouts before, I like to keep things slow because you get so much more muscle engagement. So I'm always like telling people in classes, slow down, slow down. All right, keep it up here. We're just doing that extension. Bottom foot stays lifted. Keep pushing top hip forward. See if you can find a little shake there. We want a little shake there. That shouldn't feel easy. And super controlled through that extension, so don't just snap the knee out and in. Again, we're not working the joints here. We're working the muscles so that they can support the joints, because that's gonna be a lot more fun for you long term. Oh, this is juicy. This is juicy, oh my God. The second side. Exhale on the extension. We are nearly there. And then we're gonna leave lower body alone here and finish out with upper body, which I'm kind of looking forward to actually, because that's about the only thing that feels fresh right now. Last one there, and lower it down. Okay, so for upper body here, it's all gotta be body weight, right? Because we don't have weights. So first one, focusing in on the triceps, I want you to start in a modified plank position on the knees here. So knees here, hands on knees, shoulders. Make sure the knees are not too forward, nor should you be sinking the back there. So nice supported plank. You're gonna do one tricep push-up, so elbows hugging the sides, push floor away from you, and then you get to push butt back to stretch out the shoulders. Keep the hands where they are, so don't try to like slide the hands back so the butt can come to the heels. Just keep them where they are. We're here for 1 minute in 3, 2, 1. So elbows hug the sides, exhale, press up, abs engage there as well, and all the way back. It makes such a difference for tricep press-ups, just having that little stretch in between. Make sure your elbows are going straight back and not open to the sides, because if they're opening to the sides, you're actually not gonna get that much of the triceps. They've got to be narrow. It's a nice way too, if you're really like working on improving your tricep press-ups, It's a really nice way to do it, just having that little stretch in between each one, because you get a little bit of time to recover. So usually you can go a little bit longer before form starts to collapse a little bit. One more here, and this time actually we're going to lower all the way down to the floor. Hands underneath shoulders, elbows still in tight. You're gonna exhale, half cobra. Inhale, slow release. Exhale and inhale. Push your full weight into the hands. Again, don't let the elbows leave the sides. Shoulders down away from the ears. And don't push up all the way straight into these either. It's just a half cobra. If you're pushing up all the way straight, again, where's it gonna go? The joints, it'll go into the elbows. So keep the elbows bent the whole way through. We've got one more exercise after this, and then hooray, we get to stretch. All right, last one there. Come on to the elbows here. We're gonna come to a plank on the elbows. You're gonna give me twist of the hips, come through center, dolphin, push up. As the hips twist there, the feet are not going with the hips. So it's not the whole lower body that's moving, it's just the hips. So isolate it there, keep the feet vertical. Twist, twist, center, up. Lots of obliques this week. So if that's an area you enjoy working, then this was the week for you. Keep pulling up from the navel. Make sure lower back isn't dipping there. You'll know because you'll feel lower back. Last one here. Press up, forward, knees down. Push back to a child's pose, and let's do knees wide. So toes here, knees wide, sink back. Delightful. I enjoy turning palms open to the ceiling here, taking a little rock side to side. I just find that really releases my shoulders. So if you have quite tight shoulders, that can be a nice one for the fronts, where they tend to be a bit tight. And let's get the obliques here a little bit. So you're just going to walk hands over to the right side here. Left arm comes across and reach off to the right there. You can definitely go farther than I'm going. As always, this wall is not my friend. Come back through center, reach off over to the left. Get a nice side body stretch. And come back through center, walk hands in here. Go ahead, sit up nice and tall. Come back onto the butt. We're just gonna stack left leg on top of right here. And if the hips don't wanna play like that, that's fine. You can stay a bit wider there. So some people's hips just do not like to play that way. I will say you can probably kind of get a little bit more range there as you work on it. But to be fair, set of the hips is really like a thing where like some people can do this very easily and naturally, and some people maybe this will never happen because that's just the side of the hips. So don't fight it too much, just push as much as you can, but a-okay if you're a bit wider there. But have a little rock around here. And then leaving that left leg stacked on top, you're gonna take the left arm, so hand is between the shoulder blades, give it a press down, just stretching out the tricep. Go ahead, release. We'll switch out the legs. So right comes on top. Tailbone grounded, have a little wiggle around. Also, the more you work in a turnout, the more comfortable a turnout feels. So yeah, usually I actually find a little bit of opening much more comfortable than just like parallel and straight. Right hand between shoulder blades, press down. But if you haven't worked in turnout in a while, that can kind of like tighten, close up a little bit. So just depends like what you're doing, you know, obviously. And go ahead, release there. Kick the legs out long in front of you. Give them a little shake out here. Just shake out the arms. And that is us finished with our back to bar series. What a whirlwind. So like I said, if you enjoyed any of this series or even this workout, of course, go ahead, hit that like button down below. Be sure to hit subscribe while you're down there to catch more. There will still be plenty more bar workouts. Don't worry, it just won't be the whirlwind that September has been. But of course, if you missed any of the workouts, go back and check those ones out. Lots of bar goodness there to get you started, as well as like in my other videos. There's lots of bar goodness like through the years. So check all of that out. Let me know down below in the comments what you are excited to see more of with the conclusion of this back to bar series. And I will see you guys back here soon. Bye!